All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day today to join us for the fall planning session for our law school chapters. My name is Katie Gibbs. I am Deputy Director here at Phi Alpha Delta. I have been here for 12 years. I've worked in every department. So just know I am one of the staff members here at the Executive Office of Phi Alpha Delta that help run the organization. It is all of our full-time jobs to make sure that your chapters are successful and have all the resources that you need to be successful. Um, we are here Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 Eastern. So always feel free to reach out to us. So as we get started with this presentation today, I just wanted to remind you that this session is going to be recorded. We'll be posting this to our YouTube channel as well as our law officers resource page. We will share the slides with everybody who registered today. We have a presentation ready for you all, but please feel free to interrupt at any time if you have any questions. You can raise your hand, put them in the chat. This is really your time to get any questions answered and also network with some other law chapter officers. We understand that many of you have just started classes or you will be very soon. And while getting readjusted back to school is definitely top priority, there are a few things that you should be planning for if you are a current chapter leader. As I said, we are going to open it up for a Q&A at the end, but feel free to ask questions at any time. So I'm Katie Gibbs, Deputy Director, and joining us today is also Xena Strench.
Hi, my name is Xena Strench. I'm the chapter operations coordinator here at Phi Alpha Delta. I've talked to many of you before. I'm kind of the first person you talk to when you email into PAD. So I'm going to be walking you through the PowerPoint today, but as Katie said, if you want to just drop any questions, raise your hand at any time during this presentation. I do want to make this kind of an open discussion. We can kind of breeze past anything you're already really familiar with, just so we have enough time to get to questions at the end. All right, diving in. So, all right, so here is the executive office staff, just so you see our faces. Let's see. All right, so what to expect today? We're going to go over a little bit of operations, recruitment, our member benefits, our chapter programming, and our events, and then have more discussion at the end. If you'd like to take a screenshot of this page here, this information is also available on our national calendar, and we do send regular emails to remind you of upcoming events and deadlines. And then going over our fee structure. If you have new people joining, just as a reminder, they need to submit their application on our website and then just pay the initiation fee. And that is valid for a lifetime of membership from there with optional alumni dues. You may have people transferring from pre-law chapters. We do offer a discounted transition rate of $80. They do still need to fill out the senior transition form so we can update their membership and connect them with the law chapter if they haven't already met you yet. Hopefully that sounds familiar to all you guys. Moving right along, if there's no questions, stop me if there is.
Well, Lucy, let's talk about some of these deadlines. So
Yeah.
the big deadlines for this fall semester is going to be law mock trial. So law mock trial takes place in February, but we will be opening registration in October. So if you are looking to attract members, one of the things that might attract members into Phi Alpha Delta is the opportunity to compete in our law mock trial competition. Our competition is only for PAD members, and it is only going to be PAD chapters competing against each other. So while your school might have other mock trial competitions that you participate in, here is another option for your students, especially for people who want to get even more mock trial practice. So like I said, the grant deadline is actually coming up pretty soon, September 12th. Grants are funded through the foundation, which is the charitable entity of Phi Alpha Delta. So there is funding available to get your Chapter 2 mock trial, but you do have to meet those deadlines to get any funding from Phi Alpha Delta's foundation. And again, the mock trial registration will open in October. The competition will take place in February. The other big events that we have in fall is our PAD Founders Day is November 8th. We usually have a full week of celebrations, and we always like to include an initiation ceremony as part of that celebration. So, if you have chapter members that aren't able to attend your initiation ceremony, or they join after your initiation ceremony, you can always invite them to our fraternity-wide virtual initiation ceremony. It's always a very well-attended event, and not only do you get the chance to take that oath of membership, it's also a really good networking opportunity because we invite multiple levels of our membership, including pre-law, law, and alumni members. Some of these other deadlines are kind of more specific to the spring semester, but we'd like to let you know of them ahead of time. Veronica, I see you have a question. Go ahead and go off mute. We'd love to
Um,
hear what you have to say.
Hi. I was just wondering, do we know a location for the mock trial for February?
Yeah, the mock trial always takes place in the DC area. So it might
Okay.
be like Alexandria or Arlington, but it's always around the DC area because we find that our members like to do a DC trip while they're here with us. Isabella, I see you had a question about how much work is there for the e-board to have people go to mock trial. This is where I would suggest that you get a mock trial chair. If mock trial is something that your students are interested in, then let's appoint a student who is very passionate about it to serve as the chair, and they can kind of be that point of contact. I wouldn't say this is something that the justice should be in charge of. You should have a student specific for that role. And if you don't have anyone who's willing to serve as a chair, then maybe they're really not that interested in mock trial if they're not willing to step up and do the work. So, do we have any questions about these due dates and the deadlines and what our fee structure is like? Isabel, a lot. Um, I hear that you have a tiny chapter. Just remember, every student at your school is welcome to join Phi Alpha Delta. As long as they are in good standing, I'm sure there are some type of benefits that we can offer your students. All right. I don't see any other
Okay.
questions. So, Xena, let's move on.
Moving on to resources. Let's see. All right, so all of these resources are available online. You can find them under resources and policies. If you're not familiar with these, I would definitely go through and just read them over. Even if you are, read them over again. Um, this is something else that, yeah, I would take pictures of anything that you think that you're not familiar with. If anyone has any questions about any of these specifically, we can go into it.
Okay. So this is like the number one page you guys are gonna want to bookmark as chapter leaders. Um, Everything that you need to operate a chapter, we probably already have a manual written about it. I hear from our officers a lot that they feel like they're starting from scratch, that they don't even know where to begin. This page right here is where you're going to begin because this has all the documents you need to run your chapter. We have a new officer resource guide, we have an operations guide, and we have your bylaws. If you do not know what your chapter bylaws are, we expect that you are following our model law chapter bylaws, which are available on this resources and policies page. If you ever have a question about a process, what we are allowed to do, it is covered in those bylaws. There's also a lot of resources on that page for you to be able to operate your chapter. Like we can send you membership rosters. We can send you a list of the students who have submitted a membership application, when they submitted their application, if they paid or not, if they were part of a pre-law chapter. All of that information is available to you all, but you do need to make the request from us. There's also links on that page for getting your membership certificates and pins. If you have not yet requested your recruitment box is a free resource that you get from the executive office. You just need to fill out a form with your mailing address. We'll send you out the recruitment box. We have a lot of new materials in there this year, and the recruitment box is what you're going to use for tabling. So we have brochures and stickers and business cards, all the things that you need to get the news of Phi Alpha Delta about on your campus. That's available for you for free. And if you ever need more materials or you just need more brochures and not the whole box, let us know and we're happy to customize that package for you. Another very important thing on this page is our insurance manual. All Phi Alpha Delta chapters and officers are covered by our general liability insurance as long as you are following all of our policies and procedures. And if you ever have a question about that, there, a lot of them are answered in the insurance manual. What makes an event a PAD event? We have some risk management resources there about how to have safe events. As well as our complaint and incident reporting process. So if there is ever an issue at your chapter, anything that is just not sitting right, if you guys have a member issue, you're looking to remove a member, vote them out, fill out that incident report, get in touch with us so that we can make sure that you as chapter officers are following the correct procedure. Again, all of us here at the executive office are here to be your resource. So if you ever need to meet with us, we can always do a virtual one-on-one meeting with your chapter.
I just wanted to add here, I get a lot of questions about when people should order their initiation materials, which are your new member certificates and pins. If you know what date your ceremony is, go ahead and order them as soon as you can. I need a date to print on your certificates, and I will continuously send them to you on a rolling basis. So you don't have to hold off until you think you have everyone. Just go ahead and submit it. I would ask that you submit the form and not email me personally because the form has information like what address, special notes, and then in addition to that, you do not need to report to me the names of who is being initiated. Instead, you can request a roster from me because I have the official list of who has paid. So it's a good thing. You can spam me with roster requests. I do not mind sending them to you. So if that's new information for you and you have more questions, let me know. Okay. All right, we can move along to our next slide. All right, so yeah, here are some commonly used links for our free recruitment materials. We also have some stuff you can print online for tabling there. Chapter rosters. You can just email me you'd like a roster as well, but this is the official form. And this is how you request your new member materials. Again, that's your certificates and pins for your initiation ceremonies. We also have a payment plan available if the initiation fee is too intimidating for some new members to join. We do offer a variety of plans to break that up. And then we have our model bylaws available. Some people still joining.
And all of these links are listed on that resources and policies page that is also in the chat. So if you're not sure where to go, pad.org/resources and policies, all of these links are listed there.
Okay, we don't have any questions. I'm gonna move along. Cool. Yeah, so again, this is the new member materials. This is now 15. But you can individually request materials if you have lost yours or you urgently want your materials, they can be sent to you. Otherwise, this is a free service that's included with your initiation fee. So officers, it's your responsibility to order materials for your chapter for the ceremony.
Yeah, and Ron put in here, the initiation fee must be paid prior to the ceremony. So before you invite anyone, you can invite anyone that you want to the initiation ceremony. This is not a secret ceremony. This is not something that's just for members. This is actually a very nice networking opportunity. So the initiation ceremony is a good time to like invite some deans at your school, if there's favorite professors, if you're connected with other law chapters in the area or other alumni in the area. We haven't talked about them yet, but your district justice would love to come to your initiation ceremony. Phi Alpha Delta has an open membership policy. So to become initiated, all they need to do is submit their membership application, their international initiation fee, and their local dues. Once we have their application and payment, students at your school are welcome to become initiated. We don't like people to wait too long to become initiated, so we suggest that you do 2 ceremonies per semester, but we understand if you can only hold one. Um, like Xena says here, you only need to request these materials once per semester unless you need to change your mailing address or you do add on another ceremony date. The most important information that we need to send out these certificates and pins is the exact initiation ceremony date and your mailing address. We do not need a list of members, like she said. We are going to go by who has submitted an application and payment on pad.org. And from there, it is up to your chapter to keep track of who has paid local dues or not. Sometimes the certificates and pins don't make it in time for your ceremony. Sometimes we don't get the information from you until about a week or so ahead of time. So we don't ever want you to cancel the ceremony because you don't have the certificates and pins. You can always use a carnation, which is PAD's official flower, to give out as part of the ritual. There is a ritual script that you need to follow for the initiation ceremony. And if anybody wants to guess where that ritual is, it's on pad.org/resources and policies. We have raised our fee for sending the materials directly to the individual. As we all know, mailing fees are going up for everyone. So if there is somebody who can't attend your ceremony, or maybe you have some virtual students at your school, maybe somebody's studying abroad, they can request their certificate and pin be mailed to them directly for a $15 fee. Otherwise, we expect that you as officers will distribute these certificates and pins to your new members. I think I did see a hand raised and it's not anymore. So if you want to ask any questions, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Applied for an award for the founder of your chapter and haven't received any information regarding the next steps. We are going to be announcing our award winners during Founders Week, which is in November. So if you've submitted the awards application, that's all you have to do at this point.
Thank you for that, Katie. My hand was up. This is Samantha St. Omar. Katie,
Samantha,
just
what chapter are you from?
the materials for initiation ceremonies. So we have not had any materials for the ceremonies. So I think that when everybody signs up, when I signed up with PAD directly, I received a pin and a certification. Are you referring to something other than that? This is our second year actually as a chapter in the organization. So we're
And what chapter are you from?
Tuttle chapter, Purdue Global
Okay,
Law.
so Tuttle is a completely virtual chapter.
Yes.
So for our chapters that are at schools that are completely online, we do send those certificates and pins out to the individuals individually because there's no way for the chapter to be able to distribute them.
Perfect.
We do still expect that your chapter host an initiation ceremony. The executive office hosts one virtually. It's very easily to be done virtually, but it really does help build that camaraderie with your chapter. So
Yes,
I would
we
suggest putting
have
that
been
on your
hosting.
calendar.
Yeah, we have been hosting them. So we're on top.
Great.
Right. I just got thrown off by the material bit of it, and I'm thinking, oh wow, no, I don't think we have that.
That's
Sending
a
up.
really good question. We
Okay,
we are getting more and more virtual chapters that are completely online. So yes, this chapter distribution would not apply to you. Your members do get them individually automatically from us.
perfect. Will you be sharing this presentation slide? I'm sorry, I logged in a little bit late. I had some technical difficulties. Will you be sharing it with us after this meeting?
Yes.
Okay,
So the presentation is going to be recorded. We're going to post it on our YouTube page as well as our resources page, and the slides are also going to be posted.
thank you.
You're so welcome. We're happy to be able to provide this training for you all. I see a question about, would you be able to explain the differences of chapters? Is that just different schools? Yes. So Phi Alpha Delta chapters are chartered at schools throughout the world. We have law school chapters, which are chartered at law schools. Our law school chapters also have namesakes. So it's fraternity tradition when you do speak in front of the group that you introduce yourself by name and chapter. So I would be Katie Gibbs, Executive Office, because I am not a member, I am not part of a chapter. but it would have been like Samantha Tuttle chapter. So yes, chapters are at schools. We have law school chapters. We have pre-law chapters, which are students at undergraduate schools. And then we also have alumni chapters, which are local either to the city or the state or a region. I hope that helps clarify, Anna. If you do have another question, feel free to put it in the chat or go ahead and unmute yourself. Do we have any more questions about new member materials, initiation ceremony, certificates, pins? Okay.
All right, moving along. All right, recruitment. I did want this to be our most interactive slide. We've put on some of our some tips for you on this slide, but I do want to know if anyone has anything they want to share recruitment wise, any advice or events that went really well last year, or any big plans for this year. If anyone wants to speak up.
I'd kind of like to start on this one. So, recruitment should be like the number one focus for your chapter for the fall. The fall semester is really where we find we get so many of our new members, and members are so important to keep the continuous of your chapter. Without members, there is no chapter. So right now, this is your number one job is to attract people into Phi Alpha Delta. So we want you to go back and think about why did you join Phi Alpha Delta? What did you think you were going to get out of it? Does your chapter have that programming planned for students to be able to get the benefits that they expect? So that's what we mean when we say answer your own questions. Think about why you joined PAD. Okay, this Isabella, great question. So she put here in the chat, it has been nearly impossible to get anyone to pay the $100. Would love some tips on this. Okay, number one, the $100 fee is the law initiation fee. That makes you a member for life. You never have to pay another dime to Phi Alpha Delta to be a member. We consider you a member for life when you join at the law school level. And why should people pay the $100? Our number one benefit is our network. We are the largest legal organization behind the American Bar Association. They are not paying $100 to join some club at their school. They're paying $100 to join an international organization. The second part of that is I always like to say that membership pays for itself if you use one of your membership benefits. So if you guys go to pad.org/member benefits, that's where we list all of our partners. These partners are like industry leaders in the legal field. So you can get discounts on bar prep. So yes, you might be paying $100 to join PAD, but if you're getting $400 off of a bar prep course, that's why I like to say it pays for itself.
I just popped up there a benefit page too. You can see just one of these benefits is gonna pay for like the entire membership for the rest of your life. So if anything resonates specifically for your chapter, I would advertise for it. But like Katie said, our network is amazing, and I don't know where I was going with that. But our network is our biggest benefit there, but also you have a variety of benefits, and our sponsors will come speak at your chapter. So that's incentive for joining.
Yeah, so any of the companies that you see listed on the partnerships page, they will also come and speak to your chapter for free. So they'll talk to you about what to expect from a law recruiter, how to finance your legal education. Check out the pad.org national calendar. We've got webinars coming up about changes to the loan process and things like that. So, Isabella, I see here that you say those exact cost benefits are great. I don't like to put those because they change all the time. Like I notice like even on our slide, it's not 100% up to date. So if you do want to talk to your members about the exact cost benefits, I would really encourage you to go to the membership benefits page to check out which each one of those discounts is currently because they do change. To be able to access the membership benefits, you do have to be logged in to pad.org. And I see your question about convention, and we will get to that a little bit later. I do want to really focus on recruitment right now because that really should be all of your focus as well. The next step that we had here is recruit key players. And what we mean by that are it's like, who are the people who have influence on your campus? Is it the SGA? Is there another organization on campus that attracts everybody? Try and get those people to join Phi Alpha Delta and also co-sponsor events with those other successful organizations. When we work together, it only makes both of us stronger. The number one rule, use the number one rule, you see that listed here, you have to ask people to join. You can't just talk about Phi Alpha Delta and all the things that you love about it. You have to actually make that ask. So back to how Xena started out, what works for recruitment at your school? Is it tabling? Is it classroom announcements? What do you think that your chapter does well with recruitment? Or what are some of your pain points that you'd like to talk about? Isabella, great question about getting people to pay the $100. Like I said, this presentation is your time to really get these questions answered. And Zena, I think we can go to the next slide while you're waiting. If anybody would like to speak up, put something in the chat, raise your hand. Okay. Well, the process to join Phi Alpha Delta should be very easy. We talked a little bit earlier about our open membership policy. As long as students are in good standing at your school, they are welcome to join. To join, you submit an application, you pay your fee, and you get initiated. It is that simple.
Hi, Katie. It's Samantha again, Total Chapter. What is
Great.
good
Great intro.
standing? I'm sorry, good standing. What's a GPA for good standing?
So we do not have a GPA requirement for a Phi Alpha Delta membership, but if your school has a GPA requirement for a student to join an organization, then we will always follow whatever your school's GPA is.
Thank you.
If they have that requirement, not all of them do.
Thank you. My next question is about recruitment, right? I really believe in recruitment and how that works. And we had discussed perhaps offering to pay for one student, one membership per, I guess, I don't know, per maybe semester, not per semester, per year. Like if you pay by a certain date, then there's a chance we could, you'll be reimbursed for that. But you must pay by this date, and all these names will go into a hat, and then we'll pull one out, and then we'll reimburse that person. We were thinking about that, but I'm not sure if that's something that, lines up with the general policy. I haven't
I
had a
think that
chance.
kind of takes away from the value of membership. Um, like if cost is a concern, instead of saying that like, oh, we might reimburse you, I would kind of go towards encouraging them to do the payment plan. So for anybody who can't pay that $100 all at once, they can still become a Phi Alpha Delta member on a monthly payment plan, so we can break it down into better cost. I think if you want to reward your members for joining, I think there's other ways to do that than raffling off a reimbursement on their initiation fee. I would suggest maybe connecting with some of our partners and seeing if they might have giveaways. They might have like a bar prep book that they could give out or other resources that you could raffle off that's not tied to membership and the initiation fee. I would suggest not doing
Okay,
that.
thank you.
I just wanted to add with this again, remember that if you have people transitioning from pre-law membership, they do have a separate process and a discounted rate. With recruitment, you have so many pre-law members that could potentially transfer into your chapter. So when you're thinking about recruitment, just remember that all those students do exist and they'd be good candidates to join your chapter.
Yeah, so we have thousands of pre-law members, and we understand that not every pre-law student that joins Phi Alpha Delta as an undergraduate is going to move on to law school, but many of them are, and we want to be able to catch them. So when you're talking to people, ask them if they were a member while they were an undergraduate. Like Xena said, there is a separate process. They don't have to submit another membership application. They just need to fill out a transition fee and form, and we will get them connected to your law school chapter.
Any more questions on this slide? Okay. All right, we went over this already.
Well, let's talk a little bit about where the initiation fee goes, because I think that
Okay.
also ties into how do you get people to pay that $100. Like I said, it is a flat fee. It is a one-time fee. It's not something you ever have to pay again. And we also don't nickel and dime our members for every little thing. As we discussed earlier, that initiation fee includes your certificate and PIN. That is not a separate fee that you have to pay. It also covers the insurance for our chapters. That is one of the large costs that we have here. But we really hope that it brings both the chapters and your schools peace of mind to know that you are covered under our general liability insurance. It includes those recruitment materials that we send out, those recruitment boxes with the brochures and everything, free resource, but that's where your initiation fee is going. Your district's budget is calculated by how many members are in your district, which helps support your district leadership transition conference. If you don't know what that is, you should be hearing from your DJ soon about when they will be holding those. Part of every international initiation fee also goes to our foundation. I said earlier, we have Phi Alpha Delta, the law fraternity, and we also have Phi Alpha Delta, the foundation, which is our charitable entity. The foundation is who funds a lot of our grants. We have grants that are available for convention attendance, for mock trial attendance, but there are other grants in there as well for a member that's having a hard time in their life, or if you have an idea for a really good program at your chapter and you just don't have the funds to achieve it, check out our grants page. Our foundation is only growing and they want to support our students. We don't ever want cost to be a reason that you don't hold some really good programming and don't attend some of our events. And of course, your fees go to us here at the executive office, your executive office staff. We are all here to support your chapter.
All right. So again, yeah, recruitment is an all-year effort. I know that certain schools have recruitment weeks, but anyone can join at any time and maybe reaching out to you as officers. I hope you're utilizing social media, and if you do have updated links you need to send us, that's so that people can find you online. So if you do have links you need to send me, go ahead and send it my way.
So
Also,
I always feel silly talking about social media, but when we
yeah.
meet with our students and when we meet with our chapters, we hear all the time, "Hey, how did you find out about Phi Alpha Delta?" And 8 times out of 10, I either hear it's a Google search or they found the chapter's Instagram. So if your chapter does not have social media, I really suggest that you use it. Even if you only do like one post a month or a week or whatever it is, social media is a great tool. And we also share those links with students that reach out to us with the interest in your chapter. You know the culture at your school best. So for some schools, it might be Instagram that's really big. Other schools, it might be like a Slack channel. Whatever it is that students use at your school, let's make sure Pat is on those platforms.
Mhm.
So
Also,
with recruitment, I'm sorry, one more. When you're thinking about recruitment, think about how you find out about things about at school and make sure Pat is there. If it's chalking the walk, if there's a bulletin board that everybody goes to, if you have a school newspaper, if there's a favorite professor, however people find out about things at your school, make sure Phi Alpha Delta is there. Go ahead, Sina. So sorry.
here's another one. Give everyone a role. We do find that creating chair positions can take a lot of stress off of recruitment. There can be new member educators, engagers, a recruitment chair, events chairs, whatever you need to give more support to your chapter and alleviate some of the duties of your officers, that can be really beneficial.
So when you're
Also,
talking about Phi Alpha Delta, like you can talk about this, like this is a leadership opportunity for your students. If you have students who maybe aren't ready to take on an executive board position, but they have some talent to offer, if they're willing to give their time to Phi Alpha Delta, let's give them a title, let's give them a role. That's going to make them more engaged with the chapter because they're going to feel more ownership on the chapter. So give everybody a role if they're willing to do something. And also, recruiting is everybody's job. Even if your chapter does already have a recruitment chair, everyone in your chapter can be recruiting. Everyone can make classroom announcements. Everybody can talk about the benefits of PAD with their peers. It's really about getting to know people, and then you can kind of tie the conversation to how PAD can help them reach those goals.
We're gonna get into this further later with your calendar, but scheduling and advertising engaging events is the number one way to get people to come to your chapter events. People want to attend for a variety of reasons, whether they want to be social, have professional or academic development. Advertising what you have to offer and giving people the opportunity to plan in advance has been really successful for some of our chapters in recruitment. And that's something,
So
again, you can utilize in social media.
your programming calendar is like a very strong recruitment tool. It lets students know what they can expect from your chapter. What are they going to get out of joining? So every one of your events should have a speaker, a workshop, LinkedIn headshots. Nobody wants to show up to a classroom and just talk about chapter business. They want to get something out of it. So make sure when you meet as a chapter, that it's a good use of your students' time.
On to benefits here. We went over this before, but here's some more.
So some of the things that we probably haven't talked about yet is the PAD Career Center. So it's careers.pad.org. Not only is this like a job listing board, but they have a ton of other resources there, including a free resume review. We also have access to the PAD directory. So we talk about PAD being the largest network. You can use our directory to search by practice area, by location. Anyone that you're looking to connect with in the legal field, we probably have a connection for you. And I do think we talked about a lot of these other ones.
Okay, let's move on to our programs. Okay, so some of our programs, we have Society of Scholars. This is open to anyone who meets our GPA requirements. If you don't, please include a paragraph and apply anyway, justifying maybe what circumstance led you to your current GPA and the steps you're taking to improve it. We do consider all applicants. Once you're in Society of Scholars, you can also apply to some of our scholarships. We give them out in each semester. So definitely look into that. Tell your members about it. We already went over our senior transition. Oh, sorry. Is there a question?
Yeah, I had a question. Regarding the Society of Scholars, I just applied to it. How long does it take for them to return and to say if you've been accepted or not?
Under a week.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, you should be hearing back from me shortly.
I'm sorry, what is the GPA for the Society of Scholars?
I want to double check on that.
For law school members, you need to be ranked in the top third of your class.
So we didn't have a ranking. We don't really have a ranking. I don't even know where the ranks are here, but I did send my transcripts, and if I was to be judged, I think I should be fine with the transcripts. But yeah, we don't have like a ranking unless Samantha knows anything. Oh, Deborah's here. There we go. Deborah. Let's hear from Deborah. Deborah.
Yeah, if your school doesn't have a ranking, we will go by the GPA.
Okay.
For pre-law students, the GPA requirement is 3.5 to be considered for Society of Scholars. But like Xena said, you can always submit an addendum about why you should still be considered, even if you don't quite meet those requirements.
Thank you.
Yeah, I spoke with, I want to say it was either Dean Fishman or Professor Maurerman, can't remember which one, and we do not have any sort of ranking. It just doesn't happen at Purdue.
Okay.
And that's fine. That's not going to preclude you from being able to join the Society of Scholars.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was
The
included in your application and we understand.
So then what is the GPA for law students?
I would probably say around 3.5, and I would submit an addendum letting us know that your school does not do a rank, and this is what your GPA is, and maybe what kind of life circumstances went into that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just sent my application in. I didn't do an addendum, so I don't know. Do I have to reapply, or will you look at that on a case-by-case basis?
Yeah,
I-
we'll reach out if we require any
Thank
more
you.
information.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you still have a question, Deborah?
Yeah, where do we go to apply for the Society of Scholars?
So I just put the link in the chat. It is pad.org/Society of Scholars.
Okay, thank you.
And keep an eye on your email. You guys probably get a ton of emails from Phi Alpha Delta, but the Society of Scholars is something that we promote to you probably like once a month-ish. So you should be getting emails about it if you can't save this link.
So we did already talk about our senior transition process. Is there any other questions with that? No. LaShatá, are you on right now?
I am.
Okay, did you want to go over the gold program and speaker series?
I do not oversee the speaker series, but I do oversee the Go program, and we are revamping the Go program to launch in 2026. I'm not going to say exactly the details as far as what it's going to look like, but it will look different. We will have an application process, an interview process. We will still have the mentoring component, but we are really focusing on more so on soft skills, leadership skills, and really trying to elevate the people that are in the program. And we're trying to make room for more people to apply. And so in 2026 of February, we will launch applications and kind of go through the process, but it will look different in a good way.
Great.
And I can touch on speaker series. Again, go check out the PAD national calendar. We're always adding events on there. You can subscribe to our national calendar so that you can get notifications every time we add an event. But we are constantly adding webinars, especially from our partners, about your law school journey and how to be most successful there. But LaShatá will also be doing a leadership series that we're going to talk about a little bit at the end of this presentation.
All right. Also we have our grant and scholarship opportunities. We talked about Society of Scholars. My Sparrow, I believe that's the personal emergency fund one. Katie, I'm not sure which one Nick Lee is. Which
Nick
one
Lee's a
that's for.
competitions fund, so that's for like
Okay.
coming to law mock trial.
Okay. And then we also have grants for attending convention as well. So there's funding available out there. Any questions about that? Okay. Going on to our programming. If you have not submitted your fall calendars, please do so now. I will try to review them and get back to you as soon as I can. We ask you submit a calendar or rough plan in preparation to the upcoming semester. That way you're going in with at least an outline of how the events are going to play out for your semester. You can prepare your members and new recruits to what to expect. This is a list of what we expect to see on a calendar. There could be a lot more, less if it's not possible. But these are the kind of things that we expect a law chapter to be doing.
And when you see like 2 per semester of this event or that event, these are really just guidelines. You know your chapter best. Um, and they can also count as 2 different events. Like a professional event might also be a networking event. An academic event could also be a recruitment event. But we know sometimes students like to have written out what our expectations are. So these are the expectations. If you are being the best version of your chapter, this is like the minimum of what you would hold. But we understand that every chapter functions a little bit differently. If you're not sure where to start with your calendar, again, go back to the national calendar, check out what we have planned on there, and then you can grow from there.
And of course, we have different expectations for our online chapters. Because some of this is not possible. For that. Any questions with the calendar? Oh, also, we are expecting your spring calendars before the end of the semester. I believe the deadline is in November for that. Okay. Moving on. Okay. Networking. How do we best connect with PAD professionals in our area?
So
Okay,
first things
this
first,
one.
you can go on to the next slide.
Yeah.
How to best connect with PAD professionals in your area. Number 1, see if your district has a DJ. Our DJs are our district justices, so they are in charge of overseeing the law school chapters in a certain area, either a region or statewide. They should be your number one contact when you are looking to connect with PAD alumni members in your area. As you can see, we do have quite a few vacancies in our DJs right now. So if your chapter has a DJ, please utilize them as a resource. They should be reaching out to you very soon if they have not already. And we are always happy to get you connected with your district justice. These are volunteers in PAD. And if your chapter does not have a district justice, reach out to us here at the executive office. One of the reasons that we ask for your calendar is so that we can make suggestions. So if you're not sure about how to connect with legal professionals, number one, DJ, number two, executive office, and after that, you can always search the directory as well. When can you become a DJ after graduation? Yeah, so DJs are our alumni members. Sometimes they have consideration on whether a law student member can be a DJ or not, but the preference is definitely that they are alumni members. So yes, after graduation. We do
Samantha, do you
have
have a
some
question?
plans. We have some plans to get law students involved in the district organization. So as those decisions are made, we'll keep you all updated.
Sam, did you have a question?
Yes, I do. So we submitted a calendar of events for the entire year of our reign. I say reign, but of our service to the chapter. So we have to break it up and send some of that for the fall semester because we sent out it for the entire year that we would be there, I think.
Okay, when did you send that out?
And we're pretty much on point with our schedule. We
Okay.
sent out.
If it includes the fall dates, then you're good to go.
Yeah, we'll just make note that it includes your spring dates with your submission. I know some calendars have still been trickling in and I'm still getting to them. I think our deadline was April for our fall
Okay.
calendars.
Okay. Yes, April 15th, we sent it.
Okay, you should have received a response from me by then, but if not, I will review yours and get back to you.
Let's see. Yes, we received your response.
Okay, good.
Yep, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay.
Nope, you're
perfect.
good.
I thought it was something different. I thought we needed to send something in addition to.
Yeah, most chapters plan their events by semester, not by year. So that's how our deadline schedule is organized. But if you plan them out a year in advance, that's even better. Mia, I see you have a question under here. How do we confirm that the DJ contact information is up to date? Your DJ email is still using their .edu email address. We connect with DJs constantly, so I can assure you that that is the correct email address. And if you reach out to them and don't hear back, let us know, and we'll get you some additional contact information to make sure that you can connect. But some of our alumni do still use their EDU address, especially with like Phi Alpha Delta type things. So we love our DJs. These are volunteers who are passionate about PAD. If you see one listed for your district, please make use of them. Has anyone in here already connected with their district justice? Have you heard from them? Put in the chat, raise
we
your
did
hand.
actually, our initiation as officers, we met our district leader. Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect.
So one of the big responsibilities of our district justices is that they hold a district leadership and transition conference. Right now, we're moving from DJs holding them in the spring semester to them holding them once a year whenever is best for your chapters. So if you as officers did not attend a district leadership transition conference hosted by your DJ in the spring, they should definitely be holding one for the fall. This is kind of a more in-depth training than what we're offering you all today because we only have an hour of your time. And they have more of a local connection so that they can really give you more personalized and individualized suggestions. Here, the primary purpose is to develop the leadership skills of the new officers and provide them with the resources to lead their chapters successfully. So when you connect with your DJ, please ask them about the DLTC. They will know what those letters mean. A lot of times this DLTC can be a good networking opportunity because it gets the other chapters in your area together.
So here's a list of our national events. We have our mock trial upcoming in February. If you have a team participating in that, and we are going to go into more detail about our convention coming up to next August. All right. Oh, there you go. So the biannual convention will be taking place in Portland, Oregon, August 5th through 9th. We do expect that each chapter has a representative attend. To aid you with that, we do offer a registration waiver for one member of your chapter, and we do have grants.
This is for pre-law conference, Xena. It's a little bit different for convention.
Oh yeah. Okay. Do you want to go over that then?
So for law students to come to convention, we do have you can come as a delegate, and there are some requirements for that. We do want every chapter represented by a member, and we do have some financial aid available to make sure that that can happen in the form of stipends, grants, and we do have fundraising resources available for you. So there is a process to become a delegate to attend a convention, but we certainly want every chapter there. We want to make sure that our law student voices are heard. Convention is where I like to say the fraternal magic happens. This is where you find those connections, learn about the traditions and history of the fraternity, as well as elections for our international leaders.
All right. Any questions about convention?
So August 2026 might sound really far away, but the earlier you start planning, saving, budgeting, the more realistic it's going to be for you to be able to attend this event.
We'll have to share that information with the incoming officers for next year, because I believe the three of us on the call will be done by that time, and so it won't work for us. But
It
definitely.
will. So convention is for law students and alumni members.
Oh,
So you can definitely attend as an alumni member as well.
okay.
And you
Ron,
can
how many
send as
conventions
many
have you
people
been
as you want.
to?
I'm sorry.
We have Ron Winter on this call. He is a very prominent member in PAD. So I just asked, how many conventions have you attended, Ron?
Portland will be my 25th consecutive.
And do you have anything that you'd like the law student officers to know about convention?
Well, my general comment is it's not to be missed. I remember going to my very first one. I had just finished my first year of law school at Buffalo. I went to Cleveland, Ohio, and I said to myself at the end of that week, I have to find a way to get back to this thing. And I've been getting back to this thing every 2 years since then. So I highly recommend. It's a great opportunity, as you've already pointed out, to network with not only other law students and what they're doing at their chapters, but with alumni who can certainly be helpful in advancing your career in many different ways. So I highly recommend it. You should be planning right now, those of you who are officers now saying, well, I'm going to turn this over to the next group of officers. You absolutely need to lay the groundwork during this academic year in order for you to be prepared to attend convention next summer.
Thank you, Ron. And what a great, I mean, could we have you as part of our recruitment tool? This is great. Thank you so much for that.
Well, you're welcome. And let me just, since you mentioned recruitment, Samantha, let me just mention one other thing. Katie referenced the free box of materials to be used as resources at your recruiting table. Let me just mention that table suggests chairs, and chairs suggest sitting. Let me suggest to you that you do not sit in a chair while you're trying to recruit members. You stand at the table, you engage people. In fact, I often would, and yes, I've done a lot of recruitment, move away and around from the table. Those of you in mock trial know you don't want to stand behind a podium because it creates a barrier. So does that table. Move out from behind there, engage people, welcome them. And as Xena and Katie have already pointed out, find out what they want in their organization. I joined because even though I was somewhat anti-fraternity coming out of college. The first thing I did when I got to law school was found this group with Greek letters, but it was a professional legal organization. And it was those three words that made the difference for me in joining Phi Alpha Delta. And it's the single smartest thing I did in law school.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you so much, Ron.
You're welcome.
I wanted to add with this slide, sometimes there's a misconception that this is just for officers. Anybody who wants to attend should and can, and especially as an alumni, you are welcome to attend after you graduate. Any questions about convention? No? Okay. So here's a list of all the things that we can help you with here at the executive office. Even if you just have a need that's not on this list, please email me or Katie, and we'd be happy to help you. It is our full-time job to promote the success of your chapter and connect you with your resources. So we are here 9 to 5 whenever you need us.
And we also have LaShatá here. She's here on the call today. She is part of the executive office staff here, and she's really in charge of training and growth. So Xena can definitely help you with the chapter operations things. I can help you with some things like if you get insurance, incident reports, things like that. But LaShatá is really going to be your resource for leadership, growth, recruitment, motivation, engagement. She is a pro at it. And these are some of the presentations that we have on the schedule for this semester for supporting your leadership. Xena or LaShatá, do you want to say anything about these series?
I can go.
I don't,
Great.
So, we have a leadership series. All of these are going to be intentional. So, really teaching you all. The first one is recruiting one-on-one, just teaching you all how to recruit. Ron said it at his best. A lot of times, people are looking like used car salesmen. And so, I have been recruiting and helping organizations for about 4 years. My background is in higher education, so student orgs, similar to what you all are on college campuses, and a lot of them don't know how to recruit. We are coming out. We'll do a rollout of a recruitment activity, a card game that developed for you all to get more engagement at the table, because a lot of people don't know what to say. They don't know how to sell the experience. They don't know how to get to know a person because you're not taught that. And so with Recruitment 101, I'm going to teach you how to be a better recruiter. It is strategies and core philosophies when it comes to recruiting. And so we're going to talk about tabling. We're going to talk about what is the follow-up. We're going to talk about how are you actually generating leads to build a relationship. Recruiting is like dating. And so I'm going to teach you those fundamental things. After we go over recruiting, a lot of times we are not having a conversation about what does transition look like for leaders. And so we'll focus on passing the message. This notion of what documents are you leaving behind? How are you onboarding people to come on? How are you leaving the organization, your chapter? And so we'll talk about that. And then lastly, we'll talk about mental health and how we're taking care of ourselves, because this is a lot, right? Recruiting, being a leader, being in school, all of these things are a lot. So we really want you to learn how to take care of yourself, because that's the longest relationship you have is with yourself. And so really focusing on sustainability and mental health. I've thought about having a panel. I'm kind of looking into last time I did, I had a therapist where we did a little Q&A, but really trying to be intentional to see what is it that we should be talking about. If you are still on, I would love for you all to drop in the chat if it's anything mental health related that you would like this session to cover, whether it's having a therapist, whether it's a panel, whether it's dealing with stress, whether it's knowing how X, Y, and Z. So even if you could drop an idea in the chat for me to just reflect on and be more prepared for November, that would be really great feedback for me to receive. And then we'll have our second part of the leadership series next year. All of these will be on Zoom. And so the recording will be out, and then it will be followed up with a resource. So even if you cannot make it, if you sign up for the session, you will get the resource for the sessions. And so, like I said, only thing I ask of you all is from a mental health standpoint or anything as it relates to leadership that you want me to kind of tap into or even get other people to be a part of the conversation. I welcome it because we are here to serve you all and to make sure that for me, you are getting better as a person and also as a member of this organization.
Thank you, LaShatá. What do we have next, Xena? All right. So, Xena, you're muted. We are at the end of our hour now. Thank you all for spending time with us today. We hope you feel a little bit more well equipped to be able to lead your chapter. I hope that you walk away knowing that you are not alone in this process, that we have the resources, the support, and the structure that you need. At any time when you're struggling, if you have any questions or if you want to brag about something great that you're doing, please reach out to us here at the executive office. The more you communicate with us, the more we're going to be able to help. Did you have anything you're going to say, Xena, to close us out?
No, if we have any questions, we're here for the next couple of minutes.